How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the main differences between beard balms and beard butters. So as always with a lot of my content, I try and talk about things that tend to be common subjects, things that often people bring up, whether it's in the shop asking me directly or in messages, or whether it's things I've seen on some of the bearded chats and bearded groups that are out there. And you know, it's one that can help a lot of people because butter's relatively new for the bearding world. Most of us know a little bit more about balms if you're experienced with a beard, and if you're someone that's just getting started into the journey, that's where these videos are really going to help, because as I always say, we don't get given a leaflet or a pamphlet through the door about how to beard once we start growing one. So let's start with the balm. I'm going to start with the balm because I think it is the most recognised of the two products. Now, the whole point of a balm is to offer goodness to your beard, ideally with good quality ingredients. Obviously, this is all depending on the brands that you go to, but I'd like to think anything that's going in your beard is good ingredients, but this is where you need to do your research because some are clearly better than others. But the main point of a balm is usually having something within those healthy beard-friendly ingredients that is also going to remain healthy to the beard, but is going to offer a certain type of setting for the product. Balms will tend to be a lot more solid than a butter will. They just should always be more solid than a butter. So as an example with the ingredients, in our balms we use our standard 6 carrier oils. Our 6 carrier oils are made up of 2 thick, 2 medium and 2 thin, so that you get a very nice consistency. They gel together perfectly, there's no streaking. It gives it that nice consistent colour. It's a colour you won't see anywhere else because it's a blend of those oils that have all come together. And again, they fully mix, they don't separate. You don't see the darker green streaks of the avocado or the thick golden of the jojoba or the completely clear grapeseed. So it gels together well. By doing the 2 thick, the 2 medium things, it also gives a nice consistency to the beard. I go for a mixture of oils because I've tried to pick oils to offer as much variation for the health and the goodness of the beard as possible. Just a quick example of that without going too deep, because this isn't what this video is about. You've got your grapeseed, is one of the least greasy oils that you can buy. So I've used that in the mix to help tone that side of it down, so you don't get that horrible greasy feeling within your oil that just lingers around. It goes into your beard, it will wear into your hands quite quickly. You don't have to literally go and wash your hands afterwards. Castor oil probably offers the least out of everything that I use, but it's by far the thickest. Like, it is so much thicker than everything else that it helps really bring it all together. Jojoba, argan oil offer huge benefits to beards. They're very commonly used. Avocado oil is my favourite oil in our mix. I think it by far offers more than any of the others do. It's a very expensive oil. So I've tried to get all that in there. So anyway, our beard balms have that set of the main 6 oils. They then have shea butter added into them and beeswax. There's different kinds of setting products you can use. A lot of it depends on the country that you batch from and make from, because we have different legal requests that we can use, or different legal requirements, different CPSR laws. They're very strict on resins in our country. Resins are what make things a bit more gooey and give it a real sticky hold. So yeah, they're the ingredients we use. I would say that our beard balm is a medium to strong hold. So you're going to get all that goodness in your beard. You've got all those good ingredients in there. You've got the beeswax that doesn't necessarily offer much other than the setting process, but it doesn't offer anything negative whatsoever. So when a beard balm sets, it's almost a bit candle-like. And again, the different brands will have different ratios of ingredients that will affect how solid they are. I know some brands, you can purchase guitar picks with their branding on so that you can scoop stuff out the jar that way, so it's quite solid, gives a real strong hold. Some are a lot more soft. Again, like I say, ours are medium to hard. Now, to give you a bit of an idea, you can see the basis of a balm there. If I can get my ugly mug out of the way, you can see you can see how solid it is. It's completely smooth on the top. You can see that golden colour that I mentioned about. We use all raw ingredients. Nothing's tampered with. None of the goodness is taken away. So you can see how that looks really fully set, and that is really, really in there. Like I say, it's almost like a candle. You could, that isn't going to go anywhere. That's completely solid. So when it comes to scooping a balm out, I'm going to use one that's already open here. With mine, you don't tend to need a pick or anything like that, but you'd need a bit of pressure with it. You can get your finger in there, you have to give it a bit of a pressure, as you can see, and get your balm out. Now, if I can try and again hide my ugly mug somehow. So you can see I've not used much on there. What I would then do is rub the butter down. You can rub it down as much or as little as you want. I don't tend to rub my balms. I don't tend to rub my balms down too much because I want them to get quickly into my beard and let it set quickly. You'll also notice with me, I tend to put balms more on the outside of my beard than inside. I will get a little bit on the inside, as in get it into my beard like I'm doing now, look. But I won't put as much because I'm not as worried about getting the balm in my beard. I'm consistently looking after my beard. The oil and the butter does everything it needs to in there. The balm, what I'm wanting it to do is give it that nice hold, bring all those straggly hairs in there. I've not even used a brush. Just bring all those little straggly hairs in. Get some on my tash. Whatever's left with this, I'll just rub off with a cloth, a towel, whatever you've got handy. And that is then going to give your beard that extra hold that you need it to have throughout the day. So when to use a balm? If you've got a beard like mine, it's a preference thing. If you've got a job where you work in an office perhaps, or you deal with clients, then you might want to use balm daily to keep your beard tame and in place. If you're new to growing a beard, when you're at the stubble stage and you haven't quite got a full face of hair as yet, you don't need balm. The oil is completely fine for that. When your beard gets to a stage in its growth where it starts to be a bit of a nightmare, perhaps it's growing longer on one side and is poking out, perhaps it's curling in, perhaps it's poking out in different areas, that's a good time to start using a balm, because what it can also do, as much as style, is to help to train your beard to grow into certain directions by bringing it all down. It might not make it perfect. Balms are not often as solid as gels and hairsprays, because what they do is, as you see with mine, I've got it in there, my beard's keeping very still, it's brought in all those loose bits of beard, it's brought it all in nice, but my beard still looks completely natural. It doesn't look solid or like I've put a wax or anything in there at all. So again, if you're starting new with this, you can start using balm as soon as your beard becomes a bit of a nuisance and you need to improve how it looks and the style of it. If you've got a big beard or just a full facial beard, you can use balm to daily keep your beard looking neater. Coming to myself on this, I fully embraced, I've got a natural wild lumberjack style type beard. I tend to only use balms if I need to. So if I wake up in the morning and my beard is being extra stubborn and it won't sit in place, so there's a little bit that just keeps poking out, that's when I will use balm. If my wife and I were going out on a date somewhere or going out for a meal, I would tend to use balm then, because I want my beard to look nice. If we're going to a wedding, perhaps, again, tomorrow I've got a business meeting, so I will put balm in my beard for that, because if I'm walking out and about, I want my beard to stay looking good for the entirety of the meeting. So those are the type of times I will use a beard balm. Other than that, I tend to use butter in its place. So these are kind of the basics of your beard balm. You can see what that's for. It's more of a style product. It should offer good ingredients for your beard, but it is there mainly as a styling product. Next we come on to the beard butters. Now, if I show you one of mine again, you can see with the beard butters here, I'll say here, you all know I suck at this. Let me get my head out of the way. So you can see they've got a more typical buttery, just the most honest can be, finish to it. It's not quite as smooth as the balm is because it's not a solid set product. Now, butters vary in texture. You can get poured butters, whipped butters, they can all vary, and again it's down to the brand, how they heat them up, how they let them set, the ratio of ingredients they use. Some people might put a wax in a butter. I would personally class that as a balm, but you know, if someone's calling that a butter, that's their business. You know, whipping butters is where what you would typically do is get your ingredients together. When you've made it all, before you pour it, you would whip it, whisk it, get some air into it. What that will do is make it a softer, smoother style. It's going to be far lighter. I've said this in a lot of videos. I don't like personally whipping. I feel that you're getting less goodness per jar than you are with poured, but the benefits are to whipped perhaps is that it feels lighter in the beard. Poured butters is where you mix it up, you melt it down, you let it set, you don't do anything to it. You'd pour it into your jar or your tin before it sets. but you're just pouring it into its pure form, so to speak. You're not getting any air in there, you're not thinning it out, you're not spreading it out. You know, so if you were to make a batch of 10 butters and you were to whip them, you would be more inclined to get between 14 to 18 butters out of it, because getting the air in there has spread the butter out. With just pouring it, if you make a batch of 10, you pour it, you're going to get 9 to 10, because if anything, it compacts together more than it does anything else. You certainly won't get more. It's not possible to make a batch of 10 and get 11 or 12 when you pour it. So that's where I would argue you're getting more goodness for the pound. There's also, again, what you put in there. Some people would make a butter out of 2 oils and 1 butter. Some would use 7 butters and 1 oil. There's all different ratios. As with our balms, we use those 6 oils that I said in the first place. As with our butters, the same as the balms, we use the same 6 oils. We then use 3 butters as well, which are mango butter, shea butter and avocado butter. Again, a perfectly even mix. A lot of this stuff comes to research. When you listen to me and you watch my videos about the ingredients I used, I think it's quite clear to see that I've looked into it. I've looked at what oils will blend better together than others, what will offer different benefits to others. I didn't just pick things out of a hat. I'm not saying I've got the best mix in the world, but what I have done is put a lot of thought into it, and it is a good mix. It is just definitely a good mix. I haven't just thrown loads of oils together to do the same thing. And the same with the butters. It's not just that they offer different things to each other. Shea butter is quite a compound butter. Again, it's very yellow, a very sort of off yellow colour, like a pale yellow colour to look with. It's quite solid, but not the most solid of the ones I use. Avocado is very soft. Avocado butter is almost squidgy. It doesn't ever really fully set. Mango butter is so solid that when you break it up to size to melt it down, it can flake a little bit and go a bit crumbly. It's the most solid. So you use those butters again to get a good mix. If you use 1 butter that's quite crumbly or 3 butters that are crumbly, when your butter sets, you haven't got the ratio right, it could potentially be very solid and crumbly. If you're using all soft gooey butters, then that's what you're going to get, is an almost gelatine filled butter. So there's lots of importance into how you mix things, the ratio you mix things, how you melt them, how you cool them, and that's most beneficial with everything with the butters, because it completely alters how they are. Now, I showed you with the balms how they were to get out. A butter is a far softer product to get out. So again, you can see with this, I don't need anywhere near as much pressure. It's not as solid to come out. You can see it is almost more butter-like. It rubs down a lot quicker and goes to complete liquid quicker than a balm does. I wouldn't normally put butter on after a balm, but hey, my butters are good and I ain't going to waste it. Can't let my beard go without. My beard sees that butter, it wants it. Now, obviously, they're called butters. I think personally, for good reason. They tend to be a butter-like substance. The negatives to a butter are that they have a very low natural melting point. With a balm, because they're a set product, unless you were to leave it by an oven or in the sun all day, it's going to really struggle to just melt down on its own. Beard butters, on the other hand, so much as leaving a butter in a drawer that gets direct sunlight in the summer, it would melt. And think of it like butter in a fridge. If you leave a butter out of the fridge overnight during the summer, when you come down in the morning, it's going to be soft, slightly watery on the top, and quite runny and almost liquefied. If you left it on a windowsill on a summer's day, it would completely melt. Our butters are the same. If you get problems with butters, just put them in a fridge overnight. Make sure you keep them in cool places. Sometimes when a butter resets, it can be a little bit grainy, a little bit bitty. It still rubs down the same. Just rub it down until the grains are gone, and then it's all going to be mixed in your hand. It will work just as well. It hasn't ruined the product. It won't feel as nice in your hand, but it works just as well. So never worry about it if it happens. Now, when to use butters? Much like with the balm, you don't really need it at the early stages. What I would say about butter over a balm is you could start using it before you get to the stage of wanting to style your beard or to adjust the appearance of it. Again, once you've basically got a full face of hair, a full facial beard, start using the butter, because it's going to make your beard healthy and soft and natural straight from the start of your beard journey, and it's going to be good practice going forward and give you good conditioning from the start of your beard growth. Now, I would say, we say the balms are more of a styling product. If the balm is a styling product, then what the butter is a leave-in conditioner style product. It soaks into the beard far better than oil does. I never hide this. Oil is more of a skin product. Yes, it's good for the beard, it just doesn't soak in as well. That's it. I will always put oil directly to the skin. Whatever's left I'll get into my beard, I'm not going to waste it. But then the main product I'll focus on getting into my beard will be butter. It soaks in better, it stays in for longer, you don't have that greasy feeling. And the softness, if you don't use butters, try a good butter, and within the minute you put it into your beard, you're going to start feeling differences. Use it a couple of times. Oh well, I hear it in the shop when people are putting it on the tester bar and they've never used it before. They can feel the difference straight away. The amount of people that come and buy butter and message me straight away saying how good they are. So butters, in my opinion, are a really important product for the beard. So I've gone over when to use it if you're new to beard growth. If you've got a beard already, when to use butter. Now again, this is a preference thing. This isn't necessarily recommendations. You do what you want. You do what you and your beard like most. I mentioned earlier that I will use balm when I need to, if my beard's misbehaving, if I'm going out, if I want my beard to look nice, if I'm going out for the occasion, things like that. I will use butter if I don't use balm. If I don't need balm, I will always use butter instead. You know, I like balm, don't get me wrong, but butter is my preferred product. So if I wake up in the morning and I'm just coming into the shop and doing what I'm doing, I will typically put my oil to the skin like I always do and put my butter in. Same in the evenings. If we've got people coming around and we want to entertain or we're going out, I'll use the balm if my beard needs that extra hold and style to it. If it doesn't, I'll use the butter. Typically what people would do, I think the vast majority of people would probably use their oil and their balm in the morning so that their beard looks cool throughout the day, gets that style and hold that it needs. Use the butter in the evening. After a shower, make sure your beard is dry, because by leaving a butter in overnight, it's going to soak in. You're not washing it out straight away. Your beard's going to feel so nice and soft and healthy in the morning, and it's easier to work with. It's more pliable. It just benefits everything about your beard. So those are the main differences, broken down as much as I can do them for you, between a balm and a butter. Is there room for both on your beard shelf? Absolutely. Do you have to have both? Absolutely not. Again, it's a preference thing. Some people's beards are just so wild, they won't even attempt to use a balm. Give the butter a go and make your beard feel great and feel soft. And you can see with mine, you know, I always say this, the one thing my beard doesn't look is dry. The natural colours that I have going on, my beard is very bouncy, it's very pliable. You push it in, it bounces back to place. You can see how thick it is by just me pulling it around and doing things with it. You know, a side view of my beard, you can see how deep it is. Those colours go all the way through both sides. None of this stuff helps with beard growth. I say this on so many videos. If you're looking at buying product from a brand and they say it helps growth, block them. I don't care if you're a brand watching this, that's not okay. It's bullshit. This stuff doesn't make beards grow better. It's genetics. Some of us are luckier than others. There's people out there that make my beard look tiny. Their beards are just like this and they literally sneeze and it grows. They've just got better genetics. That's all, not better, but different genetics. So embrace the beard you've got. What I will say about beard products, and I know there's people out there that don't like using this stuff. There's people out there that say don't use beard brands, but will then follow it up with, I just use Johnson's baby lotion. It's made up of oils, mate. If you don't need stuff for your beard, why are you using anything? What good brands do is look at better ingredients. Baby Johnson's baby lotion, baby oils, it's fantastic for babies. Last I checked, your beard ain't a baby. So we look at oils that offer better for that. Baby skin, big bristly dry beards are a very different process. You know, so again, look at your ingredients. But if you're people that don't like using stuff, then just don't use it. I'm not making anyone want to use anything, but in my opinion and in what I have seen, and with good quality products, they are only going to improve the health and the appearance of your beard, not the growth. Again, my beard's quite thick. It's very soft, but at the same time thick. It's quite set. My beard wasn't always like that. That's healthy products that do that with my beard. I would argue that my hairs are individually thicker because they're soaking in nutrients and they're constantly being looked after. So that's what gives my beard that effect. My beard doesn't blow around all over the place in the wind. Of course it does blow around, but I see some beards that are just so light. My beard doesn't have that quite as much. You can see as I'm talking, as I shake my head, there's not much movement in mine. You know, it does, but it just goes back again. So, you know, that's where all these products are going to help you with your beard and your beard journey. Anyway, guys, I hope this video has been another helpful one. As always, please thumbs up, leave your comments, ping those ideas for new videos. I've got a few coming up for the future. Another week, another video. Started the year in banging form, really consistent with this. Thank you for the support, that makes it easier for me as well. The videos are getting more likes, more interaction, that all helps. You know, so like I say, give that thumbs up, give it a subscribe, share it where you can, tag your friends. You know, it makes it all easy for me going forward. Other than that, guys, as always, look after yourself, look after your beard, stay bearded, and have a fantastic weekend. I'll catch you at the next video.